Greenstone Resources CEO and Managing Director Chris Hanston. Greenstone is a gold exploration and development company with new high-grade gold discoveries. He's looking forward to telling you about their aggressive exploration being undertaken at their Burbanks Gold Project, as well as the company's developing portfolio of projects across Western Australia. Please make him welcome.
Thank you. Now, having sat through hundreds of such presentations myself, I think it's important that we provide some context on what really differentiates Greenstone from the rest. So why is Greenstone special when there are 755 ASX-listed mining companies, of which 175 are gold explorers or gold developers, but only 11 have undeveloped high-grade resources greater than 250,000 ounces, and only one is located in the epicentre of the Australian gold industry, and that is our flagship Burbanks Gold Project. This is why Greenstone is special. Burbanks is located in the epicentre of the Australian gold industry, surrounded by major and mid-tier miners and supported by a network of existing infrastructure. Drilling is currently underway, with an updated resource expected in the next 3 to 4 weeks, leveraging off over 10,000 metres of drilling that was completed late last week. Importantly, less than 30% of the Burbanks system has been explored down to a depth of 500 metres. Greenstone also holds a portfolio of regional gold assets, and we also hold a 50% share in a large battery metals project for which an updated scoping study is currently underway, and we're in discussions with our joint venture partners surrounding a consolidation and an IPO. Now, all of our projects are located in the Goldfield region of WA. Our flagship Burbanks asset is located just a short 30-minute drive from Kalgoorlie. Historically, Burbanks produced over 421,000 ounces at 10.9 grams per tonne from largely the upper 140 metres. And up until about 18 months ago, nobody had drilled a drill hole here below 250 metres. Burbanks has a current resource of 280,000 ounces, and with that phase 1 drill campaign completed last week, we expect to have that resource out very shortly. Phillips Find is our second gold asset and is located just a short drive northwest of Coolgardie. And like Burbanks, it has a long history of high-grade and shallow production, but also remains underexplored at depth. Historically, Phillips Find has produced 33,000 ounces from 3 relatively shallow open pits to a depth of 75 metres. We're currently drilling at Phillips Find right now, testing those down dip extensions beneath those 3 historic pits I mentioned. Now, moving entirely away from gold and not to overly complicate the story, Greenstone also holds a 50% share in the Mount Thirsty joint venture, which is located north of Norseman and hosts a large copper, nickel, manganese deposit. Mount Thirsty is uniquely positioned to potentially provide a sustainable and ethical source of cathode precursor to the growing EV battery market, with the deposit containing all 3 of the necessary elements and the right ratios to produce such a product. 2 weeks ago, we announced a materially larger resource here, which is now underpinning an updated scoping study, which is currently underway. I'm a firm believer that base metals and precious metals don't belong in the same company, and as such, discussions are ongoing around a consolidation and potential IPO of this Mount Thirsty joint venture asset. So just to set the scene, since resuming exploration 18 months ago at Burbanks, we've very much adopted a revised strategy here, focused on exploration and resource growth. At Burbanks, we've very much developed a track record of exploration success and resource additions, with the results to date exceeding all of our expectations. I would now like to share with you that journey, where we started 18 months ago, where we are now, and where we're heading in the future. What we're looking at here is a long section of the Burbanks Gold Project. From left to right across the screen is a strike horizon of around 5.5 kilometres. 18 months ago when we started, all Burbanks had was a long history of very high-grade production, totalling over 420,000 ounces at 10.9 grams, as well as a small JORC-compliant resource you see there in the darker green colour. Over the next 9 months, we drilled over 10,000 metres of drilling. We doubled the resource to 278,000 ounces, and we extended the mineralised strike horizon by over 2 kilometres. However, much of that drilling was too widely spaced for us to bring into a JORC-compliant resource. As such, we utilised this wide space drilling to support a JORC-compliant exploration target, which can be seen in the lighter green colour. This exploration target has a range of between 215 and 330,000 ounces and was the focus of the Phase 1 drill campaign completed last week and is illustrated by the blue dashed box you see behind me. Very important to note that this exploration target does not include any of the areas in the orange and the green highlighted behind me. There is still a lot of unfinished business here. Late last week, we completed that 10,000 metre drill campaign, and this drilling will form the basis of the updated resource estimate expected in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Some of the better intercepts out of that program included 5 metres at 30.5 grams, and as you can clearly see, these are not one-off isolated drill hits. This project has a track record of adding ounces, and we're only just getting started here. Phases 2 and 3 will test the true potential of this asset. Now, quickly moving to Phillips Fine, as per Burbanks, I'd like to show you the past, the present and the future of this asset. Again, we're looking at a long section from left to right is around 1,200 metres along strike. Historically, this asset has produced 33,000 ounces from 3 separate open pits. We've subsequently leveraged off some limited drilling we completed last year, as well as a large historical database for an initial resource here of 54,000 ounces. However, importantly, we've very much adopted a whole system approach to exploration here, and we're not looking at each one of these open pits in isolation, but in fact looking at them in conjunction with the potential for a consolidated underground operation here. Importantly, only 40% of that mineralised strike horizon above 300 metres has been tested. We have subsequently defined a drill campaign which is currently underway, targeting high-grade extensions at depth. The historical intercepts at depth are impressive and include intercepts like 3 metres at 18.7 grams per tonne. With drilling now underway, we look forward to keeping shareholders updated as we progress with this exploration program. And now, I guess something completely different. Here's the Mount Thirsty project. The Mount Thirsty deposit hosts the cobalt nickel manganese deposit, which is part of the joint venture with ASX-listed Conoco. The project is focused on providing a long-term and ethical supply of cobalt and nickel battery minerals to support the continued decarbonisation of our economy. And I say ethical, as not many people are aware that much of the world's cobalt supply comes out of the Dominican Republic of Congo in Africa, which has a track record of supplying unethical supply, sometimes utilising child labour as young as 6 years old. Mount Thirsty is uniquely positioned containing cobalt, nickel and manganese to potentially provide a sustainable and ethical supply of cobalt precursor. Previous studies had focused on the use of atmospheric leaching methods, which resulted in lower metal recoveries, lower product payabilities and depressed project economics. We have subsequently identified 3 principal project optimisations for the updated scoping study, which is currently underway. The first optimisation for the updated scoping study includes a materially larger resource, which we announced just 2 weeks ago now, increasing by 146%. The impact of a larger resource may mean a longer mine life and a reduced stripping ratio. The second point on the larger resource is that Mount Thirsty hosts the second highest cobalt nickel ratio for comparable Australian deposits. This is important for the updated scoping study as we're looking to produce an 811 cathode product here. The second major optimisation is a change in the processing methodology to high pressure acid leaching. Based on comparable deposits, we hope to increase nickel recoveries from 22% to upwards of 90%. Higher recoveries means more metal, which potentially means more revenue. This high pressure acid test work is currently underway as we speak. The final major optimisation is the product produced. 5 years ago, end users were happy to accept intermediary products. However, with the rise of electric vehicles, consumption habits of our consumers have changed and they're demanding a high value cathode precursor product. These precursors attract a significant pricing premium, up to 50% higher than previously envisaged. So as you have guessed, we have plenty of material news flow coming, including continued gold assays from drilling at Burbanks and Phillips Fine, the resource update in 3 to 4 weeks, and the scoping study at Mount Thirsty. If you like today's presentation and what we've got to say, there's a QR code here to scan and follow us on all of our social media networks. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. That's a great addition at the end. They're very clever. Well done. ASX listed Dundas Minerals.